Ali, 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 oh. Peterborough, Ipswich Town 3. What a performance, Rich Chandler. Crystal Ball Chandler. What a performance.
That's a big statement win, isn't it?
Massive.
Peterborough looked decent going forward, but
couldn't live with us. It was another Bolton Derby style counter-attacking masterclass, right?
Yeah, totally. I said ages ago I thought we were going to go up, as you know.
You did,
but I don't see how we'll drop any points. I just don't see it happening.
Are you feeling? I thought this would be the easier of the two away games we've got coming up, and so it's proved. But having seen what you've seen today, where we swept aside someone who was fifth or sixth, are you feeling more confident ahead of Tuesday now?
Yeah, because I think that Barnsley are going to have to come and try and beat us.
Yeah.
Because their fans won't stomach them playing for a draw when they need to beat us because of the way that the table's shaping up. They're not going to make the top two.
No.
So really,
what are they going to 94?
Yeah.
They can only get to 94, I believe.
Yeah. And we'll beat them on Tuesday night, and then we only need to draw again. We only need to draw or win no matter what happens, don't we?
Yeah.
So,
well, it could have. I mean, bloody Sheffield Wednesday. It could have been that they couldn't get past us with the goal difference if we were to beat Exeter, whatever it might have been. But so close. God damn it! Never mind. We said it would go down to the wire. I mean, what a season! We said last season, didn't we? Like 83 points got you sixth. Crazy. And like this season, the top three are all in 90 points now. So Plymouth have won today 3-1. They're on 92. Ipswich are on 91 in second. Sheffield Wednesday third with 90 points. And they're not even in great form, particularly. They've still hit 90.
No.
Still hit 90 points.
No.
Were you nervous today, mate? Were you nervous in going into the game?
Well,
you're pretty confident, weren't you?
I was pretty confident. And my sister's gone today and she was nervous. And I messaged her and said, I'm not nervous. I'm completely chilled. It was a complete lie. I'm still confident, and I'm as relaxed as you can be when there's only a point above us, above Wednesday.
Yeah.
But I'm still really confident because I just don't. Since that bloody game at Oxford,
yeah,
I don't think that we've looked like losing. I know we had a shocker against Bristol Rovers, but I don't think we looked like losing it. We just weren't attacking enough to score.
Agreed. That was, let's not go back there. That's what started my McKenna meltdown moments. But I think you're absolutely right. I mean, they're those three away wins that we referenced earlier, today's one, Bolton and Derby, have been just different gravy compared to your Oxfords, your Cambridges, your Bristol Rovers. And, clearly there was some kind of reset point there, Rich, at some point.
The January signings.
Yeah, well, exactly. You're probably right. Hers coming through. Broadhead obviously come on as a sub, didn't he, in that Oxford game, having just signed for us. And, they've both bedded in. But, I mean, look, it took the pressure off, didn't it? 17 minutes today. Wes Burns. I mean, I'm just thinking back. It was the throw from Davis, nod down from Hurst, Broadhead with the shot, which basically hits Norris, doesn't it? Just rebounds to Burns. And that just takes the tension away, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that takes the tension. And then we can start to play because Peterborough have to go for it then. They've got no choice but to go for it. And Walton was outstanding today.
Made some really good saves, didn't he? Certainly in that first half from, I think it was Mason Clark and Johnson Clark-Harris.
Yeah, they're both two decent players. They're never going to be at Peterborough next season.
He looked good. I didn't know too much about that Mason Clark. I thought he looked a decent player. Certainly running at our centre halves. He looked very good. Yeah,
he looks decent.
One for the championship, maybe?
I think we're looking in a higher pool, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you might. Well, fingers crossed that we get there. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I think people weren't quick to have a go at Walton too much after the Cheltenham game. A, you've had a shitload of clean sheets. And secondly, you know what he's capable of making saves like that. Because, I mean, if you did typical Ipswich, like go 1 up, go 2-1 down just before the break. If he'd not made those saves. But, brilliant. I mean, look, who are you thinking? I know we've got George, second to none, coming on shortly. Who was your standout performances today, Rich? I mean, it's easy to go for goal scorers, but I do feel like Walton is probably.
I think Walton's man of the match, because at the point when he's made those saves, it could go either way. Because Peterborough are decent going forward, and they've scored a lot of goals this season, and we've restricted them to 2 or 3 chances, and Walton's kept them out.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we've made a team that's vying for the playoffs look like just a standard League One side. I mean, I think you put on Discord a while back, we look like a mid-table championship team, maybe more. That's what it feels like when we're going to these games at the moment, isn't it? Hopefully we could do that Tuesday, not 17 fate.
I think that's the big thing, isn't it? This season, up to this season, against the big teams away from home, we've never looked in it. Even at home, last season, Rotherham ripped us apart at home last season.
Remember that? That caused another meltdown.
but they did without even looking like they'd got out of second gear. Yes, whereas we're doing that to teams now, and we're doing it playing much better football than Rotherham did.
Yeah, absolutely. And a special mention for Ladapo comes off the bench.
That's a hell of a finish.
That's a hell of a finish, isn't it? And Chaplin, that was an effortless finish as well. Just shows you players that should probably be championship playing in League One.
I think that's it. You look at our front 5 or 6, or the options we've got front 5 or 6. Yeah. They walk into a lot of championship sides. And Broadhead, right. Davis, Ladapo, Hurst, Chaplin, Burns. I'm probably forgetting people, but they all walk into championship sides. Morsey. And even Don Ball, when he came on, made some decent touches and a little run through 3 or 4 of their players as well. We're starting to see glimpses of what he can do.
Yeah, and once again we looked rock solid in the middle, didn't we, with Morsey and Luongo.
They've got to give him a contract.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think me and Rich were talking about that when we saw him in those cameos against Burnley, and then a couple of league games after that, and we was like, he looks the real deal. I mean, look, I hold my hands up. A player with no momentum, bad injury record, hasn't played 90 minutes, hadn't played any minutes in actual facts all season, and look at him. Yeah. So I mean, I think he's perfect what we need. We're going to bring George in. Rich, anything you want to finish on before you go and have a celebratory drink?
Bring on Barnsley. I'm now gutted that I'm not going, but there we go.
Join us on the iFollow suite, my friend. Join us there. Good chatting to you. Probably chat to you in the Discord.
Yeah.
See you later, mate. All the best. There we go, everybody. Rich Chandler. So we're going to bring in George. Martin is at the game, remember? Got his ticket last night. He's at London Road. So I'm just waiting for him to bring in George. What, we've got some comments here. Andy Barrell, her starts. Freddie, come on, 20 minutes to go. Yeah, totally agree with that. Is Matt streaming from his bed again? I don't know how many times I have to keep telling Joe. I'm in my kitchen, my friend. This is my little diner area. And I've got better class to broadcast from my bed. Clark Harris isn't and never was good enough to be this blue, says Jamie Legg. Not sure about that. He's still a decent player. What else we got here? People used to say Ladapo can't make an impression from the bench. I think I was one of them. Nick will with that comment. I think I was one of those guys who said that. But I mean, bloody hell. Look at the game on Tuesday. Starts the game against Port Vale. Everyone's moaning. Comes on today in a pressure cooker situation. You know, Peterborough could have got one back. You never know. And there he is. Johnny on the spot again, isn't he? I think David Bergen, our good friend from Ireland, coming over for the Exeter game, has stuck some dough in the pot. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Zorak, we also have more points than Rotherham did, and we still have 3 games to go. Yeah, absolutely. And they're staying up in the championship this season. What else we got? Don't know where George has got to. Don't know where the governor's got to. Governor, send me a little message on the private link now. Tell me what's going on. Jason Fisk, we only need 5 points, but that's if Wednesday win their last 2 games and Derby is their last game. They've also got a very tough game going to Shrewsbury next week, who, you know, were very unlucky to lose to Plymouth. Oh, sounds like, hold on a minute. Movements. Here he is.
Oh, yeah.
George, second to none. George, it's been a long time since I spoke to you, my friend. How are you?
I know. How are you? I saw you on the ground the last time I saw you, Matt.
Yeah. I'm buzzing. David's put another €10 in. Top man. David, make sure you got some spending money for when you come over for the Exeter game next week, okay? George, what did you think of the game then? 3-0 was beyond expectation, maybe? It was not as tense. wasn't as tense as I thought it was going to be, I have to say.
Yeah, I was nervous as all hell beforehand, and they just made it look relatively easy, didn't we? Apart from I thought there was 10 or 15 minutes in the second half when we took our foot off a bit, and
they put some players.
We don't look comfortable when we're trying to sit on a lead. I'm sorry for repeating. I'm repeating anything anyone's already said because I missed the first 5 minutes, but it just there was just that little period, and then as soon as we put the intensity on again,
it was good to see. I was kind of chilled for today's game. I did say to people, I'll probably watch Barnsley hidden in the bathroom somewhere. I was that nervous about it. That's now not so bad now, but yeah, I don't think in our wildest expectations we would think 3-0 would be a result. I mean, we said on the show last night, if we can just replicate Derby and Bolton, those 2-0 away performances, we'll be as happy as Larry. I think this has surpassed it, don't you think?
Absolutely. 3-0. Yeah, I just think the last sort of 2.5 months we couldn't have asked. I imagine even if you'd asked Crunch at Christmas what your expectations are for the rest of the season, I couldn't imagine that he'd have said this kind of form. Absolutely unbelievable.
No. Absolutely. When I was going through my McKenna meltdown, I went back and watched some of those shows, and even Rich goes, "You think we're getting top 2? You've gone mad." But as I just said to Rich Chandler, it's mental. I mean, we thought last season was mental, right? 83 points would only get you 6th. So Plymouth are top with 92. I think that won the league last season. We can get that. We're now second with 91, and Chef Wed's a third on 90 points. So I mean, it's still all to play for us, isn't it? It's all in our hands still, thankfully.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we could have. I had a feeling that someone was going to drop points today, but
yeah, I did as well.
Didn't come to.
It looked like it at Hillsborough. It looked like it for the time being, but they've got. Look, we've got the game. We've got the game Tuesday. We've got Exeter next week. I do hope, George, that we can clinch promotion at Portman Road.
I'm going to be there as well, and I just just got that. I was saying on Monday, I just got that feeling that next Saturday is going to be the.
You got a feeling in your water. What did you make of Walton today? I was saying to Rich Charlie, made 2, 3, 4 really good saves. Certainly in the first half from that Clark and Johnson Clark Harris.
Important. Yeah, the first one was so important, and I think you could say that you could easily say it was hit straight at him, but he got his hands up and he made such a solid save out of it that I just think that was such a good save, and he made 2 or 3 more, and he really. Someone said to me earlier, earned his money today.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we were saying earlier. That's why I didn't want to go in too hard on him after Cheltenham, because he'd had the clean sheet run and you know what he's capable of. Let's just get a few comments in here. George, Blue Heaven, fantastic result. 5 more points max. 5 more points max, I think it is.
Yep.
Dr. Zach King, Shane Wednesday one, otherwise pretty much done. Get our win Tuesday. See you at Exeter. That's the fairy tale. Moby, Posher Tin Pot, seeing as Colin isn't here to say it. Thank you, Moby. Colin likes to always remind us of that one. Norman, best away performance of the season. Jules, you want to answer that one? Best away performance of the season?
I probably haven't seen enough of them, but it was a pretty good away performance.
Yeah.
Right? Particularly our record at Posh as well. I think that's you'd be hard pressed to beat that.
Our last win there inside 90 minutes, because also we beat them on pens in the old pizza thing, was 1972 in the FA Cup.
Crazy, yeah.
Under Bobby Robson. And then we got Brax Max, Town Salt the chaff from the wheat. Yeah, absolutely. Martin's posted, can we shout out the referee? I don't know if you saw this, George, but Norburn was on a yellow and then left studs in on Davis.
Yeah.
And we've had players sent off for that.
Yeah, I think. I thought from the TV camera it wasn't, because the chap, I keep forgetting his name, the chap that does the commentary on that,
Glenn
was saying that he left the studs in, and I've seen it back, and I'm not sure it was. I mean, yeah, you could. He probably deserved a yellow for that, to be fair. Martin sent me a message at halftime bemoaning the ref, and I thought, generally speaking, he was all right. I thought he was letting a lot of stuff go that League One referees, because we talked about him on Monday, and I think he's used to Championship refereeing. Yeah. I thought he left a lot of stuff that League One refs would have blown up for, which let the game flow a little bit more in the first half. But I thought his second half was pretty ordinary. I'll be honest. I thought he lost it a little bit. I thought the way he was dealing with some of the players in the first half was pretty good, but the second half I thought he lost his way a little bit.
Yeah, he did a little bit. I think obviously Ferguson felt Norman was right on the cusp of a red card because they took him off at half time. I think that probably speaks volumes. What other comments have we got here? Let me have a look here. Can we talk about the Broadhead assessors, Mike D? What a player he is for us. I mean, he's come good. George, at the time where we started playing Forest Green, etc. That friendly run of fixtures that started it. I mean, yeah, I dread to think where we might be if he wasn't available or he's so.
Well, I mean, we missed him for that one game that he didn't play.
I mean, absolutely, the Cheltenham game. Yeah,
he just adds something, doesn't he? He has that moment or series of moments throughout a game that just makes him look like a Premiership player. Like those sort of three or four players that we've brought in this year have just been of such a good standard and made such a massive difference to the squad. It's a great piece of recruitment, and it really is. Yeah.
How much would you be paying for George Hurst in the summer once you've got Championship football?
I don't know.
What are you thinking?
That's a good question, though. Like
a couple of mil?
Yeah, 2.5 was the number that went in my head. I don't know why. I'm just dragging numbers out of thin air. But yeah, I think that's around or about where we're. That's
if you consider Broadhead's $1.5 million, probably goes to 2 million with promotion and what have you. I think Hurst would be insane. What I love about Broadhead,
to know if we've got some kind of deal lined up. If that's
well,
what
who
we've been talking about.
Old Ashton keeps his cards close to his chest, doesn't he? So we don't know. But what I like about Broadhead is he's like an absolute maestro on the pitch and like a shy choir boy off it. When he does interviews, put a microphone in front of him, and
he's got the right kind of confidence, hasn't he? The sort of confidence that he just lets his play do the talking. It was the same with the penalty. That all of that the build up to the penalty on the other day, and he just ignores it and goes about his business and celebrates when it's right to.
Yeah, Kev Sherwood agrees. That ball through from Broadhead to Chaplin. Jason Fitzpatrick was quality at Sunderland, scoring against us last season. Yes, he did. Hurst, different classes. Ben Hobbs. Brian Desmond, 11 goals in last 3 games, 1 against. What are you thinking Tuesday, George, as we wind down and let Martin get back on the road?
I'm really nervous about that. Like I was nervous about today. I just think this is going to be how it is for the rest of the season, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to be a bag of nerves up to every game and through every game, probably. But,
absolutely.
I mean, it's going to be really tough. But I thought today was going to be really tough. And they, apart from a few moments, and we gave Clark Harris too much space on the edge of the area once, and he looked like he might punish us. But I thought like we just made it look not easy, because that's doing them a disservice. But we just did our business and
looked a level above.
And that's all you can ask for. And if we do that on Tuesday night, then who knows? It's hard to see beyond a similar result, as much as I'm going to be nervous for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in theory, we don't actually need to win that. A draw would be enough for us, and then do the business against Exeter, and we'll see what Sheffield Wednesday do. But I think they've got a hard game next week at Shrewsbury with Steve Cottrell. Like I said earlier, they should have maybe at least drawn or even beaten Plymouth. I need to lose it 2-1. So they've still got plenty of fight there. Right, we are back. Hello. Movements here. Is this the governor coming in? Not too certain. We are back
in for a cameo.
Yeah. From the pub. We're back at 1:30 tomorrow. Me, Governor, and Cruncher. George, I don't think there's any ending to this show. So if we just press leave studio, and we'll see everyone.
Yeah, we'll drop out.
Have a great night, everybody.
Cheers, Matt.
Enjoy a beer, George. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde